Welcome everybody to Ask a Wizard. Tonight we're going to be talking about the secrets of the Great Sphinx, the cryptid known as an imp, also known as the Trenti, and I'm going to teleport you to the Shadow Realm in real life at home. Plus, so much more. Thank you so much for tuning in, everybody. I'm sorry to hear it. We lost a few doggos, and my goodness, doggos are the best. I am a big fan of the fluffy boys, and so anytime a lost legend is gone, I feel sadness. So my heart goes out to any fallen doggos that have been lost in the line of duty of being legendary, cool people. And let us pray that they are not the dog people, as was discussed earlier in our previous stream, and that they are instead just the noble creatures that they are and the legends that will continue on. Good doggos will continue to be the best doggos. And the best pet, by far. Way better than cats. All right, Michael says, what do you call a thing that yellow? I'm not sure, Michael. We're not playing those games. Tyler, is this about God and all that stuff? We do talk about God sometimes here, but this is, to describe this show is virtually impossible. You guys are part of a very small group of people that have discovered the greatest show on the entire internet, known as Ask a Wizard. To define it is impossible. This is anti-marketing. This is a 2-hour show that's across all different spectrums. YouTube algorithm cannot figure out how to promote us. The only way this grows is literally through word of mouth. You saying, check this guy out, it's amazing. You literally taking my links and manually sharing them on social media. There is no other way to find this show. Alex is working hard to try and fix that by making a clip channel because she insists on trying to grow the numbers. But frankly, I don't really care. I just love doing the show. But we're working on fixing that with the clip channel. That being said, to define the show is to watch this show. So let us begin right now with This Week in Weird. Ba-dum-bum. The New Jersey mystery booms have been solved. You may have heard in the news today, or may have heard in the news last week, New Jersey was dealing with explosive sounds all across their 10-mile radius of New Jersey. People hearing what sounded like gunshots, bombs, explosives, and more. Well, the mystery has been solved, and it turns out this man right here in this photo, well, you can't see the man, has built this machine that he calls the Hail Bomb. That's right, he made a sonic weapon in his free time that explodes with so much force that it literally turns the air into vapor, as you can see portrayed in this photo right here. And he invented this to scare the birds away from his grapevines, who would sit there and gobble up all of his grapes. And when asked why he built this monstrosity, he said, I was bored because I had nothing better to do because of the beer sniffles. So the mystery has been solved. It turned out a man in New Jersey created a massive sound weapon to scare off birds, and that is why there are bomb noises going on in New Jersey. And with that, my friends, this is the only piece of news that you need to hear today. As always, don't watch the news. Turn off the news. It's a piece of trash. It's garbage. They have nothing of value. They're all liars. Everything in the news is a lie. It is a waste of your time. Now you know everything you need to know about the news. Let's move on to the next segment. All right, so this is our first incredible video for today, guys. This is nuts. This year, this was considered one of the prophetic signs. People have been calling it a prophetic sign of 2020 being a dark year. Plagues of bats have been swarming all around the country, and we don't know why. We're going to be showing you the videos of some of them attacking right now, and it's going all around the world. Just plagues and plagues of bats that just seem to be encompassing everything. Is it time? I think it's time for our very special segment. Oh, it is, guys. This is a very special segment indeed. This only happens on random. This is a very specific segment. We have to wait For the first ad of the show, it's time for Copy Critique with Tyler Sass. If you don't know, I also happen to be one of the best digital marketers in the country. I'm an expert in analyzing digital media, creative direction. All these buzzwords you see on the screen here are things that I've been doing for a career for well over, almost 10 years now. And so we are going to critique the YouTube ad that decided to interrupt our show tonight, live, right now. And we're going to see, was it worth it? Was it worth it to be interrupted during our show for this ad? So let's take a look and critique this ad right now. So starting right off the bat, we're at 0 second mark. What I see here is a log cabin and some cars. I don't recognize those cars. I see no text on the screen. I do note that this is a 30-second ad and it is skippable. So I only hate it a little bit right now. What's a verbo? Is a verbo a child? Is that what a verbo is? Anybody?
The only thing that matters is being together.
The only thing that matters is being together. That's not true. Food, water, shelter, social achievement, success. What's Maslow's hierarchy of needs? Self-fulfillment. There's a lot of things that matter more than being together.
Why not bring the holidays to a Verbo vacation home?
So Verbo is a vacation home? Is all right? So we're what point in the ad here? We're 6 seconds in. So we didn't find out what your ad was until I would have hit the skip button over here. The skip button happens after 5 seconds. So no one who saw your commercial would have any clue what your brand is. You've completely thrown your budget. 95% of your budget just got thrown in the trash. Congratulations, Verbo. You're throwing your money away. Whoever designed your ad sucks. By the way, what's with this? Why do you have like a ghost face going on here? You trying to send some subliminal messages? Is this a haunted hotel service? What do you guys think? You think Verbo is a haunted vacation hotel rental service? I think so, and we've got evidence right here in the artwork. There's clearly what appears to be a ghost face. So what I'm taking away from this is that Verbo doesn't know how to make ads, and also, if you use their app, you're going to go to a haunted house.
Somewhere with more space to get even closer to the people you love.
So we're going to a place with more space to get closer to the people we love. What does going to another place allow us to get closer? Wouldn't I just want to go to a smaller place? Wouldn't I want to go into a tiny home? That doesn't make any sense.
Thank you.
I can't relate with this at all. Is this man Santa Claus? I'm not sure. Your together awaits? Really? Really? That's what you're going with? Your together awaits? That's the slogan you want to sign off with? And by the way, this is we have 4 seconds left of the ad. So at this point, you've lost 98% of your audience. No, thank you. I don't want to download the app. I highly recommend not using Verbo. From what I took away from Verbo, they will send you to a haunted house. So that's my takeaway. And let's get back to our segment, which is the Bat Swarm. Thank you very much. Oh, of course. Got to give this for the Alex Paxton, so she has the sign off, of course. Thank you so much for taking part today, Verbo, in Copy Critique with Tyler Sass. This is where we analyze the ads that have the audacity to interrupt our live show and make my audience upset and sad because they wasted money on YouTube ads. If you can manage to get past the wizard filter and make me happy that you showed us an ad, I'd be happy to promote your business and service. If not, maybe consider increasing the quality of your ad copy, specifically on the digital video media, because every ad I've seen so far is garbage. Except mine. Mine's pretty awesome. Alex Becker actually has some pretty good ads too. Not gonna lie. All right, let's go. The Bat Swarm. Daniel says, how are you doing today? I'm doing very well, Daniel. OMG, Sasuke, dang. How would you do this ad differently? How I would do the ad differently? It's a vacation rental. Well, good question. Let's get the thing up on the screen. Vlone, being the nice guy, asked, how would I do this ad differently? So, first things first. Know what your product is within the first 5 seconds and state your brand name. Why should I care about what is being shown on my screen? I need to know that within the first literally 2 seconds. There has to be within the first 2 seconds, oh, I should listen to this because it's of interest to me. If you screw that part up, you've just lost your ad. That's the ADA formula. So that's the attention. 80% of your effort goes into your your headline and your first 2 sentences of your introduction in a written form. In a video form, the first 5 seconds is the most crucial part of the ad. The first 2 is your attention getter, and then you have to have enveloped interest by the first 5 seconds. So what we would want to do here is, what do I like? What am I interested in? So it's vacation hotel rentals. So right off the bat, their entire business targeting structure is off. They're not doing a good job of targeting me personally, but assuming I was in the market for their particular product, which again, that means they literally just have someone who's so bad at their job, they're just throwing money away into a trash can and saying, hey, you know how you need lawn care service? No, I don't have a lawn. No, you need lawn care service. No, I don't. I don't have a lawn. Why are you hey, get lawn care? That's what they're doing to me right now. Very bad business practice. The second aspect is vacation rentals for half of a price of a hotel. That might be compelling, right? Would you like to stay in an exotic location for half the price of a luxury hotel with all the same amenities? Boom! Now you got my attention. Now I'm interested. Now I want to listen. That sounds pretty good. And now I want to hear what you have to say. That would be some ways to improve the ad copy. All right, let us begin with the bat swarm. Do. These people literally get into a theater. Now, this particular footage happens regularly. What's making this particular moment interesting right now is that this isn't just happening in Carlsbad, which this happens every year. As you can see, they have an auditorium set up for this event. This is happening all around. Australia, for example, is being plagued with fruit bats right now that are destroying the cities and tearing down their trees. Oh my gosh. It's just swarms of them. So this is something that's happening right now all across the world, and we have no idea why. Bats are just getting in giant groups and swarming, and this is no longer just linked to strange events like the monarch butterfly, for example. There's a very specific locations. This is erupting all across the globe. It's just incredible. Literally bats blotting out the sun. Could you imagine what Batman would be doing during this? He'd be losing his freaking mind. He'd be like, no, oh, Rachel. Just losing his freaking mind. Batman just flailing around off in the distance. Just, Harvey, where is she? It's like scarecrow fear gas going on. You know, when you look at Batman out of context, out of the spell of his story, he's kind of lame. It's like this guy goes around driving tanks, flying around in jets, people, but bats, well, don't get me started on bats. They're just too much. Oh. Obviously, that's Batman's cave, though. How would you do that differently? Let me know if you want a reading. Thank you very much, OPVs. Dylan says, can I watch a video? Absolutely. All right. So with that, we're going to move on to the next segment. That's our first incredible video for you guys today. But don't worry. It certainly will not be the last. So let's move on to the next segment for today, which is History's Mysteries. The true age and the secret tunnels of the Sphinx. This is an incredible find that isn't being covered as much as you would think it would be, because some people called Egyptologists have been a little shady lately. If you're not familiar with the anthropology scene, it is one of the least reliable forms of science that exist. Egyptologists are one of the worst and just most unreliable people. To call them scientists is essentially a joke. They're tour guides, so they are more interested in preserving an image of Egypt and their culture than they are about telling the truth. They're not doing science. They're not doing historical records. They're very deceptive in this practice. What their concern is making Egypt look awesome and making sure that tourism continues. However, despite that, people have now, with modern day technology, flying over, doing some scanning, they're starting to notice some irregularities about the Sphinx. In fact, the true age of the Sphinx was recently revealed. You may have been taught in school, which is very dishonest, that the Sphinx is 3,000 years old approximately. It turns out, after examining the erosion by water and the fact that there's actually salt water erosion, meaning that at one point the Sphinx was under sea. That's how long it's been there. It's closer to 800,000 years old. This thing's not even close to 3,000 years old. So it is a structure that just breaks our entire perception of the timeline of history. Everything that you thought about where we are in this place on Earth is just completely just wiped clean by this finding, this fact that the Sphinx right here is over 800,000 years old. It's absurd. And it gets even weirder. You see, when the Sphinx was first discovered, it was actually part of a major cover-up operation. They took 20 years and cut off anyone from excavating it and looking at it that wasn't officially chosen, and then proceeded to make modifications to the structure to make it appear like it was less aged. In fact, the head on the Sphinx is not a reflection of what it was supposed to be at all, but instead is an artistic rendition of what the Sphinx, they believed the Sphinx to be, in order to cover up its true age. It gets even more bizarre. Inside of the Sphinx were secret tunnels. Secret tunnels were found within the Sphinx, and upon investigation of these tunnels, the CIA, not Egypt, the CIA shut down access to these tunnels and claimed it was due to a national security risk. So a little odd that there would be a national security risk for America in Egypt. Very odd. Upon time going by and, people not caring as much, the news story gets wiped away, then an excavator goes in and decides to explore the caves, going back to this old story. After going into the caves and exploring, he claims that he found what appears to be an alien-like mummy. This was a mummy with reptilian-like skin, and there's countless references all around his sarcophagus referencing how he was a counselor to the emperor. He was very wise and a useful person, and they treated him like a fellow species, essentially. And this was published in the official reports, this is not some crazy conspiracy theory. This was the guy literally saying, hey, this is what I found, took some photos of it, and says, what do you guys think? And so that is what was found inside of the secret tunnels, and that is the true age of the Sphinx. So what do you guys think is going on? Is this evidence of a lost civilization? Was there a history that goes back 800,000, even going back 200,000 years is absurd, unheard of. To have the technology to build a Sphinx 800,000 years ago just completely wipes our timelines out. However, you also have to factor in that the dating technologies that we're using are vastly unreliable. There's been people who have used quote-unquote carbon dating to carbon date something and take the same sample, and upon taking the exact same sample and doing the exact same procedure, one carbon dating would report that the piece of material was about 40 to 50 years old, and then the other one would say it was 350,000 years old. So it's just completely unreliable form of testing, and it does vary. So some materials are easier to test than others. Some work, some don't, and as you can see, it does have some major flaws. So that could be part of it, but it does make you wonder, how far back does our history go? And what this made me think of is, if you aren't familiar with the show, if you're new here, you know that I don't believe in aliens. I don't think aliens are real. But what I'm wondering is, perhaps what if what we're calling aliens are these ancient mythical races that we always hear referenced throughout all of recorded history? Elves, dwarves, lizard people. You have all these different tribes of people that people describe and converse with. As we talked about in the previous stream, the dog people were another group, and treated as real. What if what they're calling aliens are just these other types of beings? And perhaps that is what they are. Maybe not. Who knows? And that's kind of where we're at the end of this story. What do you guys think? What is your thoughts? Let's hear about it in the comments below. Whatever happened to the nose? Well, so that's part of the thing, is so this restoration they were doing is actually trying to make the face look different than what it was originally. They were trying to structure it to look more like a pharaoh, and that's where this hood, this cobra-like hood, comes from. People claim that the actual head looked more reptilian and more along the lines of what you might describe as an alien, which was found in the tombs. That's the theory, so that's the thoughts. OPB's popping off with the Secret Tunnels reference. Secret Tunnels! Thank you very much. If you're not a fan of Avatar The Last Airbender, you should be. However, the girl in there is just awful. I'm not a fan of her personality whatsoever. Now, with that being said, let's move on to the next incredible video. Boys and girls, in this incredible video, we have a drone catching footage of a tiger shark inches away from swimmers. This is a horror show in real life. This is, I believe, in Florida, if I'm not mistaken. It always seems to be in Florida, right? Miami South Beach shores. Let's take a look at this. So we're over here in Miami Beach, over in Florida, just scooting on over. The ocean scares me. Well, my friend, after this video, it's going to scare you a little bit more. Beautiful shots of that coastline, and what do we have here? That's right, my friends. That is the silhouette of a giant tiger shark. Look at that. That's less than 15 feet away. That's crazy. He's just sitting there, and he cannot see that shark at all. You're able to see it because you're in a drone. For him, he can't see a thing. Oh, no, no, no. Oh, gosh. You're just in the ocean. Being in the ocean is like being in the dark, but there's actually monsters in the dark. That's what the ocean is like. This shark is sitting over here, just having a swim inches away from what would be a perfect meal for him. This thing only needs to decide to attack, and this guy is gone in minutes. And it doesn't matter if he respects the shark. It doesn't matter if he's a friend to nature. No. This shark will bite him in half. It won't even stand a chance, and he's completely oblivious to it. Oh my gosh, man. No, there's more people. No. Jeez. Look how close he is to the shoreline. Nothing is safe. Holy crap, man. Oh, just there, you see his fin peek through. Right there. Now he's visible. Oh my gosh. And that, my friends, is the Miami tiger shark caught on camera for the drone footage. Absolutely horrifying. This is the kind of stuff that just makes me happy that I no longer live in California and that I don't go into the ocean, because my goodness, that is just horrifying. And now it is time for the magic illusions and the arcane arts. Tonight we have, I messed up the formatting on that. Tonight we are going to be doing the incredible hand illusion. This is a fantastic video. Beautifully done. I can't wait to show it to you. Then I'm going to show you an IRL hallucination. You're actually going to hallucinate in real life right now using an illusion. And then finally, I am going to have you enter the shadow realm IRL. We're going to have you have an experience where the room temperature at your home changes. Shadows begin to move. Lights may flicker. And you will experience some of the scarier sides of paracosms. All tonight, right now. So if you have a friend that you'd like to bring along for this journey, now is the time to like this video and share this video, because in a moment you're going to be entering an actual shadow realm, and then you're going to come back and be perfectly fine. And it's going to be an experience so profound that you're going to want to tell your friends. And when you do, they're going to call you a crazy person. They're going to say you're full of crap. That is not true. It did not happen. Bring them now, share it with them so that they can experience it too, and you'll have at least one person who believes you when it happens afterwards. Let's get this show on the road. Let's get the magical hand demonstration. Just incredible video. This comes from TikTok. Shout out to TikTok. And this is about how you can utilize different dimensions and different mediums and combine them together to create a form of illusion. I really love how this combines kinesthetics with visual and audio to come together to make something new. And then the illusion is this flowing motion, and it's quite wonderful. The water has great visibility too. Crazy they can't see it, right? I know, it's insane. Velon says, crazy. We've only discovered 5% of the ocean, right? It's crazy. I'm from Florida and go nowhere near the water, especially Miami Beach. That makes sense, Velon. I don't blame you. Beautiful, isn't that? That is just wonderful. Definitely give those guys a shout out. That is Urban Theory IGT. They're over on TikTok. You can reach them at Urban Theory IGT. So beautiful. Awesome. I'm gonna give them a follow. OPVs, can you remind me to give them a follow afterwards? We're going to send some traffic their way. We're going to send the 423,000 owls over to you. You're going to get some traffic today. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. All right, next up on the list is an IRL hallucination. So this is a bizarre phenomenon. It's going to happen immediately. Once I hit this button, it is pretty darn crazy. But it does showcase just how susceptible our perceptions really are, and how we can begin to see things that may exist, may not exist, or perhaps they exist in another realm. We don't really know. And that is this particular illusion right here. Now, what you're seeing on the screen right now, and those magical little black dots dancing around all over the machine, are in fact not animated. This is not a GIF. This is not a video file. This is a solid picture, a JPEG file, sitting right now. And those black dots that you're 100% seeing with your own eyes right now do not exist. They're not real. If you want to, try and focus your attention on one. You can block off a block and focus your attention, and you'll realize that those black dots do not exist. However, if you scatter your eyes around, you will begin to see them start to appear. This is an example of your eyes' ability to see things beyond what exist, and to see things that may or may not exist. This is a fantastic illusion, and is a really good introduction to what we're about to do in a moment right now, which is bring you guys into the shadow realm in real life. I am going to attempt to create a similar kind of illusion for you using what's called a paracosm. A paracosm is a psychological world that you create in your head. This is something that you probably did as a child, where you would play pretend and imagine that you were say cops and robbers, and how after playing along for a while you would start to feel as if it was real. That's how the paracosm works as well. So what you're going to be having is an experience that involves the placebo effect and confirmation bias. These two things are going to come together to cause the temperature in your room to feel like it has gotten colder. It will feel like your room has gotten slightly darker, and you may even experience light beginning to flicker. All the while this is happening, we're going to be utilizing an illusion that is going to cause the room to literally move, and this is going to trigger that confirmation bias and that placebo effect. So we're going to be doing that here in just a moment. So if you want to take part in this experiment, now is the time to do so. However, if this is something that's not your cup of tea, you don't want to get freaked out, you don't want to see stuff moving in your room, you don't want to see your lights getting dimmer, you don't want to see lights flickering on and off, you don't want to get colder, you don't want to see walls moving, shadows moving, things that could be, frankly, they are a bit scary for some people. If that's not something you're interested in, that's perfectly fine. You can simply you can turn the volume off, not listen. And again, this is fully within your control at all times. This is not spiritual. This is not tapping into spirits or communicating with anything like that. We are using a purely psychological phenomenon that I'm an expert in, called the placebo effect, to create what we're about to create. However, I like to let people know in advance, to give that nice little disclaimer, so that in the event that they don't know what they're getting into and they get a little scared, I want you to be aware of what's coming up, and you will be in full control the entire time. And at any point, you can make these go away in a matter of minutes by simply staring away from the screen and thinking about literally anything else. You just need to get the data out of your head, so you could just count from numbers 1 to 50 and it will be gone within a few minutes. So now is the time to bring your friends in. We're going to be having that experience right here, right now, for you guys. Wow, how does that work? Well, V-Lone, you're about to find out. Hey, Lando, how's it going? Welcome. And here we're going to go, and I will be speaking over this to induce the paracosmic effect. So that's going to be happening here in 3, 2, 1. Stare at the center of the screen here. It's okay if you blink, but try to blink as infrequently as possible. And what's going to happen here in a moment is you're going to start to notice that as this light pulses in and out, the edges of your screen will begin to get a bit wobbly and woogly. And that's okay. That's your perceptions beginning to be altered. And this perceptual change is going to begin to be the crux of which we build this illusion and paracosm off of. As you see those wiggly lines now on your screen, you'll begin to note that the temperature in your room is going to change. It'll feel just a slight degree cooler at first, but as you see the pulsing, you'll notice that every time it gets darker, it gets just a bit colder now. And now what you're going to see is that my hand here can actually, as I lower it down, keep staring at the spiral, but I'll be moving my hand down now, and you can imagine that happening, and you can feel the temperature in your room begin to drop as well and get a little bit colder now, to the point where it's starting to feel pretty darn cold. Not uncomfortable, but pretty cold. Now that we've reduced the temperature, it's time to make the room a bit darker as well. So we're going to be doing the same effect with the lighting in your room, remembering to look at the spiral, but note that the light in your room is beginning to decrease and dim now, almost like the shadows become more pronounced, almost like the shadows are becoming their own form of light as the room becomes darker and this now cold room is in its state. We're going to cause some strange occurrences, walls moving, portals opening, shadows moving, and lights flickering. We're going to have that happen in 3 seconds as I count down. I will pause the video, and then you can look at the walls, look at your lights, and notice the coolness of the room. You may be able to see your breath. You may also experience shadows moving as well. In 3, 2, 1. Go ahead and look away from the walls now. You'll start to see a strange optical illusion, and as well as the phenomenon beginning to occur now, the coldness of the room, the darkening of the light, and perhaps flickering of lights as well. Now, this is an alarming experience, but what's going to make it even more bizarre for you is the fact that we're going to put everything right back the way that it was. And as you're listening to my voice now, you're going to see the effects start to fade away. And as that happens, the room temperature is going to rise. It may even feel a little too warm now because of how cold it was just a bit ago. And as that happens, you'll also notice that the light in your room is becoming brighter again and getting right back to the way it was. And so now, looking around in your room, you see that it went from warm or cold to warm and from dark to bright. And you can go ahead and experience that now. Let me know in the comments below. Let's hear what your experiences were. Let me know in the comments below. Let's hear what you guys had happen. Oh no, looks like we're getting some lag over here. Oh no, I hope that wasn't too much. How's it going, Lando? I'll get this bad boy up. And let's put this here for her. All right, so it does look like we're experiencing some internet issues. Vilan says, whoa, how did that work? Well, through the process of what's called a paracosm. That was super cool. Vilan had some amazing experiences, it sounds like. Let's hear below if you guys had some experiences as well. Let me know what happened for you. I'd love to hear what you saw, what you experienced. Let me know in the comments below. And thank you for letting me do this illusion for you tonight. I hope you enjoyed this segment, the magic illusion in the arcane arts. And if you found this to be fun, if you found this to be an amazing experience, a life-changing experience is what I would call it, go ahead and share this, like this, get this thing out to more people so that they can experience it too. The only way we grow is through word of mouth, my friends. So if you want this thing to continue to grow, you, and only you, can make it happen. Thank you so much for your help. OPBs is experiencing internet lag as well. I am as well. So hopefully that cleans up here. I'm trying to stall here, but you know what? Maybe we just got to power on through. So we're going to go ahead and do that right now. So while we experience these internet sensations lagging the nation, we're going to move on to the next incredible video. This thing, guys, let me tell you, this is a game changer. This is owl technology that, frankly, it's going to render drones useless. You know, there's a big concern about, guys, what are we going to do? Drones are becoming prevalent. They're being used for spying. They're being used for technology to get information on people. And the owls are like, what do you do to stop a drone? You're not allowed to shoot drones down. You're not allowed to attack drones. And how are you supposed to attack a drone? If you do, you're caught on camera, and then the drone has the footage, and then they're able to arrest you and press charges. So that's been the concern with drones. And so, well, I think, boys and girls, we have the solution right here. So let's take a look at Owl's Tech, new technology for dealing with modern day problems. Old solutions to modern problems. They're on to us. They are on to us. The owls must have stumbled. That is correct. Trying to open the screen here without seeing my mouse. Boom. There we go. All right, boys and girls, let's take a look at this technology. So this is a man driving a drone right now. He's flying his drone. Just checking out the sidelines. What's that? Boom. That is a hawk, my friends. The hawk has taken down the drone with one solid strike, bringing it to the ground. That is amazing technology to me. I think that this is literally and legitimately the future of defense against drones. You know, you can train hawks, you can train owls for hunting, and you could train them to specifically attack drones. And what are you going to do? How are you going to tie the hawk back to you? It wouldn't be possible. You could let them go out, take down the drones, come back to you, and you have a methodology. I'm not condoning it. I'm not saying you should. I'm not saying that it's the right thing to do. But theoretically, this is a particularly effective strategy that I find to be incredible. And it is a very effective military strategy in the terms of Sun Tzu. The cost of having one hawk can take down hundreds and hundreds of drones repeatedly. And each drone is going to cost them money, and you just need to feed a hawk. So this is a pretty cool idea, pretty cool concept, and I wanted to share it with you guys. Let's see. How are we doing on internet? Are we looking good again? Is everything smoothed out? It seems like things are have picked back up. Glad to see that is the case. And if you experienced any hallucinations from the previous thing, let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear about it. And we're going to move on to the next segment right here, which is anti-left hand awareness and support. What was that, Maddie? I don't remember why I followed you. Like, I feel like I never seen you before. Like, I don't know who you are whatsoever. My name is Tyler, and I am a wizard. How are you doing, Maddie? And tonight we have a very important topic. This is about the active discrimination that goes against the most oppressed group of people in all of history. Frankly, this is just horrifying. The stats, the systemic oppression is absurd. We're going to go over some of the systemic oppression that is put against my people, the left-handed people. And we're going to be talking about some of these injustices. And of course, we're going to be talking about real history And what is real history? Real history is left-handed history. Left-handed people are more susceptible to death by 9 years because of systemic oppression. Some of this systemic oppression includes machine-related deaths because they're designed for right-handed people. Injuries from tools and devices. This is because most equipment, guns, tools are designed for right-handed people. In fact, even the knives and cutlery you use to cook are all designed for right-handed people. And what do those filthy right-handers say about us? What do they claim is the reason for our death? Do they take responsibility for it? No. You know what they call us? They call us clumsy. They say we're clumsy. You know what? They want you thinking you're clumsy, left-handed people. They want you to believe you're clumsy. And it's because they know deep down how strong you truly are. If one left-handed person stands up, they all stand up. Rise up, my left-handed brothers, and show them our true glory. Let's move on to left-handed legends. The polymath mind of left-handed Leonardo da Vinci, a famous left hand from history, and take a look at his glorious, glorious legacy. This man is considered to be the greatest mind of the Renaissance, and forget the fact that I misspelt Renaissance and didn't click spell check before we did this show. He was the greatest mind of the Renaissance, and for one reason and one reason alone. It was the fact that he was left-handed. In fact, his gift and glory of being left-handed allowed him to develop new artistic techniques that have been fundamental for changing the entire scene of what art even means. His art is considered to be some of the most valuable pieces ever created in all of history. But it doesn't stop there. No. This left-handed was not satisfied with being one of the greatest artists of all times. Instead, he had quite a few side projects, some of which included developing war technology and robotics. Yeah, he was building real Iron Man suits back in the 0 century, whenever he was around. On top of this, the dude was sitting around making airplanes as well, inventing flying machines, just for fun, having some good times. In fact, he has given so many scientific breakthroughs that some people say that to call him an artist is not even right. He was more of a scientist than he was an artist. However, I'd say he was more of a left-handed than anything. In fact, his designs that he put together for some of these robotics were so sophisticated, they were so well done, that NASA looked at them and stole his designs directly to develop their own robotics today using modern material. I lost my train of thought there. So his work was so mind-blowing. It was so incredible that the majority of his work actually got covered up. They took it and put it away so that other people wouldn't discover how glorious all of his ideas were. So when you know that Leonardo, being left-handed, is the greatest person alive because of his left hand, you understand that the things that you understand him to be the greatest at is only a fraction of what he actually accomplished. The majority of what he did was hidden from you, that we don't understand. So even a fraction of him at his left-handed glory is still better than most people's best. And so that's important to recognize here. And the final most important fact about Leonardo da Vinci is there is some evidence to suggest that Leonardo da Vinci could be a Ninja Turtle. We don't have evidence to support that yet, but that being said, there is some people who claim to have evidence that it could be that he is a Ninja Turtle. And that is a left-handed history for today, boys and girls. We're going to move right on into our first round of wizard readings. If you wanted a live wizard reading, let me know in the comments below. We will get you a live wizard reading when you like and share the stream. That's how you qualify for those. And if you already did, we'll be getting your readings started shortly. OPVs, you are up. Can you let me know who the first person is for our reading today? And I will get that started shortly. Maddie says, oh, I saw you on TikTok. Yeah. Welcome, Maddie. How's it going? I am from TikTok. He had a pretty wicked beard. Can't lie. I know, right? I think that I need to work on mine, and by work on it, I mean I just don't grow facial hair. Apparently. OPVs going once. OPVs, where are you? Come on. I'm gonna scroll back here, see who's got the readings. Let's see. Came from TikTok. Don't sign me up for Naz. No problem at all. V-Loan. I don't know. I hope OPVs has got it. V-Loan is the first. All right, V-Loan, are you ready for a live wizard reading? Let me know in the comments below, and we'll get your reading started shortly. Let me know in particular what you'd like a reading about, and we will get that started in just a moment. If anyone else wants a reading, let Tyler know in the chat now. Heck yeah. Thank you very much. Or I could drop all the cards. That works too. Boom. V-Loan says, yup. Awesome, V-Loan. Let me know if there's anything in particular you'd like, and we're going to begin that right now. Whew, all right, so coming up here with the Death card. Very interesting indeed. So the Death card here is a very good card. It's not a bad card. People tend to think this is a bad card. And to be frank, going through a death experience is pretty intense. Now, symbolically, this can represent if you have lost something or lost someone. That does tend to happen here in the what we call the archetypical sense. However, on the individual level, which is what the wizard reading fixates on, it's more about this process that is required to be successful. And to be successful at anything, you have to make sacrifices. And so what the Death card is about is separating the wheat from the chaff. This is about taking an internal reflection and saying, look, I want to get to my goals. I want to achieve this. And frankly, if I don't sacrifice some things in my life, I can't have that goal. If you want to lose weight, you have to eat less calories. One way or another, you got to do that. If you want to be successful in business, no matter what, you're going to have to figure out a way to put 3 to 4 hours of concentrated, dedicated effort into your business if you want to build a business. And so this card is about saying, what activities, what behaviors, what habits, what relationships even do I need to get rid of so that I can move forward on my hero's journey and accomplish my goals. And so that's what we have popping up here for you, V-Loan. That's the advice I have for you today. I hope that helps you out. Hope that gives you some insights. And we're going to move on to the next reading. And you can let me know in the comments below if that was accurate. Maddie is up next. V-Loan says, wow, that's accurate. Glad to hear that that was on point for you, V-Loan. That's what we do here. By the way, you can financially support the show by going to paypal.me/askawizard. You pay anything you want, and you will get a 3-card reading instead of a 1-card reading. Also, you can send letters in to get those read live on air at P.O. Box 88881, Missoula, Montana 59807. You don't have to send financial support through there. It's greatly appreciated when you do. However, morale-boosting letters are always appreciated as well. Gonna go to sleep. See you later, V-Loan. Have a good night. Hey, how's it going, Michael? All right, Maddie, is there anything in particular you'd like a reading about? Let me know in the comments below, and we'll get your reading started shortly. I love reading. All right, let us begin. Ooh, the 7 of Wands. All right, 7 of Wands. A great card here. All right. This is the 7 of Wands. So the 7 of Wands is about the confidence in your spiritual principles. So what this is saying is that, Maddie, don't you go compromising on what you know that you want from a relationship. Typically, what tends to happen is we have our principles, we have what the must-haves of a relationship. And these are not things that are just small arbitrary things. This isn't like, well, they need to be 6 feet tall, or something like that. This is about, what do they believe? What are their virtues? What are the qualities that are going to be here and with them in their deathbed? These are the most important qualities that exist. The eternal qualities: honor, loyalty, respect, things of that nature. And this is a card that's saying, don't go rushing off into a relationship and compromise on these principles. You have to stick with these. If someone is attractive, if someone is kind, even if someone enjoys the same things that you enjoy, but they're going to differentiate on these massive, important core principles, you've got to be having the confidence and the strength to say, I'm going to go somewhere else. I'm not going to just rush off into a relationship. I am going to take the time to think things through and wait for the person that meets me on my principled level first and foremost, and then go forward with the other aspects of the relationship. And so that would be my recommendation for you, Maddie. I hope that helps you out. I hope that gave you some insights. Let me know in the comments below. And we're going to move on to the next reading if we have one. I'm not sure if we do. OPBs, do we have anybody else? If not, we're going to move on to the next segment. By the way, if you're ready for the next segment, I'll give you a sneak peek. We're going to be showing you a haunted house or a serial killer lair. This is a bizarre find. A guy goes to explore an abandoned house and finds a very disturbing scene. We're going to be showing you that here in just a moment in the paranormal paracosms. No other readings lined up. All right, let's move right along to the haunted house or serial killer lair. Dun 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 dun. All right, so I'm going to be skipping around here a little bit, so I want to give you guys the full video. If you want to watch it for yourself, you can get this at Haunted Abandoned House from Alien6467. Give him a subscribe. He's got 1,110 subscribers right now. Let's try and get that number beefed up here a bit. And we're going to take off the audio. However, there might be a little bit of swearing here or there. I'm going to try my best to keep that away. Try to keep this family friendly. That's not true. This is not a family friendly show. I'm not striving to make this a family friendly show. However, I do not like sullying my show with the language of the week. That is the peasant class language, and I don't want to identify my show with the peasant class because the owls are not that. We are the superior owls. We are legends. We are incredible people, and we're better than the gross, vile language of swearing, and so that's why we try to filter it out. And is there a time and place for swearing? Of course, but the more that you use it, the less power it has. That's why it's called cursing. If you always go around cursing, you lose the power that your quote-unquote curse has, so use it wisely. So this man here is in Southwood, New York, and he is going down the road and found a haunted house, and so they're going to go in and take a look. Maddie says that was really accurate. I'm glad to hear that was on point for you, Maddie, and that gave you some insights. So come on, guys. Is this house haunted? Obviously, it's not haunted. This is a house for sale in California for $3.4 million. This is a mansion. Are you kidding me? This is clearly a at least $4 to $5 million house in the nicest area in all of California. Have you ever seen any place that is better in California than this? Because I haven't. This is straight up the best piece of property I've ever seen for California. Oh shoot, this is in New York. My bad. Oh wait, same problem. So I'm assuming this is a Zillow video tour. That swings moving. I mean, obviously it's the wind, but that's pretty creepy. Oh boy, this thing got wrecked. This is I don't know if you've ever explored an abandoned building. Me and Alex have done this a little bit on road trips. It is sometimes you go to a place and you can just feel that there is something in there. You can feel the force of stuff. It is absolutely bizarre. I'm not sure what causes it, but it's definitely a phenomenon. Alyssa says, hey, how's it going, Alyssa? So we're seeing some graffiti on the walls here. I don't recognize any of the symbols as arcane. What the heck? Holy crap. Oh, that is really, really weird. Whoa. It's got hashtag vengeance scrawled across the wall. What appears to be some sort of Greek architecture of what used to be a fireplace, but it looks like it was torn out. I'm not sure what that is. And there seems to be plastic bags stuck all over the wall. All right, Mr. Alien, you don't need to put alien sound effect noises. He says there's bags, plastic baggies, and they each have a single coin inside of them. What in the world? Some of them have water in them? What? And they all have 1 penny. Oh, gosh. Yes, I do, Maddie. I go live Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. Pacific Coast time. What in the world? Oh. Imagine you go into an abandoned building and you see this. Like, is this like a serial killer? Like, what if this serial killer puts a penny for every person he kills into a bag, and if he drowns them, he puts them in a bag filled with water? And what vengeance is he trying to get? There's so many of them. It's filled, the entire floorboard is filled with these bags. What in the world? Oh man, that is freaky. Well, if it ain't haunted by a ghost, it seems to be haunted by something, a human being of some sort. This is like demonic creepy. That's some... looks like rotted away. Oh, what was that? Is that a jump scare? Oh, it wasn't a jump scare. It was just him doing an effect. Whew. Jeez. Wait, what? Am I seeing things? I might be seeing things. Let me know in chat. Do you see this too? It looks like there's a silhouette of a human in that window. Am I crazy? I might be crazy. I straight see what appears to be a shadow silhouette right here. Oh, I don't like that one bit. Oh gosh, what if he lives in the attic? Oh, what if he lives in the attic? Oh god. Oh, no. Oh my gosh. Am I the only one who can see that? Maddie can see it too. Oh. There's someone in the home in a hoodie. Oh gosh. What if he was just living up there the whole time, looking through the broken wood? He could see them looking at his trophies. What if he's like getting excited by it? He's happy that they're seeing his conquest. Oh gosh. Oh, jeez. That's freaky, man. That is some freaky stuff. So that is the haunted house slash possibly a serial killer den. My word, that is just oh, jeez, that'll keep you up at night. Let's move on to a different topic. You're ready for something completely different. How to make a dry ice bomb. Now, this is a fun experiment. This is from the Build, Grow, and Create segment. This is where I encourage you to get out there in the real world and start doing things, making things, building things, creating things, and having fun. That being said, I have made myself many dry ice bombs. Me and my cousin Brett used to make these all the time as kids in our backyard, having lots and lots of fun. That being said, dry ice bombs can be dangerous. You do need to take major safety precautions. One of them went off in my cousin's hand, and it hurt his hand and hurt his ear. Very, very easy to damage you. Make sure that you're doing this. If you're under the age of 18 for any reason, first off, this might not be the right stream for you. That being said, if that is for some reason you are here, make sure you're doing this with parent supervision. Make sure you're wearing safety goggles. That's very important. And having gloves to handle the dry ice. You will get burnt. And that being said, with a small piece of dry ice and a water bottle, you can have quite a lot of fun making what's called a dry ice bomb. And it is fun, wholesome, just stuff you can do at home for real cheap. And it's pretty cool. We'll be showing you that right here. Just give you a few quips. That's what they look like. Poor teddy bear.
What happens if such a bomb goes off in your hand? Interested? Then stay tuned. Dry ice.
Don't do what he just did. Do not do this.
Frozen carbon dioxide.
Do not do that. That is that. Just don't. That's like tip number 1. Do not handle dry ice with your bare hands. Yes, you can toss it back and forth and it won't burn you. If you stop tossing it back for even a second or a chunk of it breaks off and gets in between your fingers, you can get frostbite very quick. This will stick to your skin and burn incredibly bad and can do permanent damage. Handle these pieces of ice with gloves. Make sure you're using a glove, and also you want to use a hammer or a chisel of some sort to break off smaller chunks. Do not do this.
And at room temperature it sublimates, which is going directly from solid.
This is a cool thing you can do with dry ice. Throwing it in water makes it bubble, but we're going to be covering the dry ice bomb. So to do it, it's quite simple.
Now,
You just get a water bottle filled with water, and then you throw some chunks of dry ice into the water bottle, and then you're going to seal the top with the lid, and then you're going to chuck it. Or you could set it up on the ground. A safer way of doing this is to set it up out in a big field away from everyone, put your dry ice, and then sprint away from it and run away. And once you're about 50 feet away, keeping in mind you still want to have safety goggles on, you get about 50 feet away, wait it out, and you're going to have a massive explosion in just a minute.
the most important thing is to make sure the bomb doesn't go off in your hand. And for that, you need to delay the explosion. This can be done by using a larger 2-liter plastic.
If you use a 2-liter bottle, this thing is intense. This is a big explosion.
Way you can feel the pressure
So now he's using a glove, which is the correct way to do it.
building up in the sealed bottle. And if you can feel that the bottle has become solid hard, then that's the moment where you should be already 10 meters away from it, as it is about to explode.
Boom! And that's a dry ice bomb. It's pretty fun. Pretty fun stuff. Pretty cheap to do. It's a great way to use leftover plastic.
It is outdoors, not in a city, and away from windows. Also, see to it that no children or animals are nearby who might want to investigate the unexploded bottle. Also, I would recommend having an air gun available.
That is a good call. I wouldn't have remembered to tell you guys this. Final safety measure is bring a BB gun with you. There is a rare case where you'll get like a bottle that's just too thick to burst, and you know it could sit there for 15 minutes and not blow up, and then blow up at minute 15 or 16. So in those cases, having a BB gun is good because you can shoot a hole in it and essentially disarm the dry ice bomb from a distance, just as a precautionary technique. I would recommend doing that. That's a good call on his part. One thing that we did as kids is, and I wouldn't recommend doing this because the force of it was incredible, but we took a 2-liter dry ice bomb, tied it in, and we put it on the weight of, we got a dumbbell, tied it to a string, and then sunk the 2-liter bottle to the bottom of our cousin's pool with a rope and the weight. And when the thing bursted underwater, for some reason the water amplified the force of this dry ice bomb, and it was so powerful that it felt like a miniature earthquake, and it shook the very windows of our parents' house, and was so strong that my aunt believed that an earthquake had occurred and came outside to see if we were okay. It was really intense. So be careful with that, because there's probably a chance that kind of force might be able to break the tile of your house or of your pool. So be careful with that. But that is my experience with doing dry ice bombs. So that is our build, grow, and create segment for today. I hope you guys enjoy that. It's just a fun way to have some fun and have a good time. And again, be safe, follow safety first. As the crazy Russian hacker put it, safety is number of priority. Make sure that you are safe and then have a good time. That sounds cool. It was really, really cool. Now, with that being said, we're going to move on to our next terrifying video from the Paranormal Paracosm. And this is a haunted bar. So this one is a little different from the previous one. This one's more real footage caught on tape. And what's really odd about this particular footage is this comes from a bar who was just like, hey, we have a problem. It just keeps being an issue for us, and it's affecting our staff and our hotel. So could you guys help us stop making ghost stuff happen? And so that's kind of what makes this one interesting, is the people were seeking out an explanation for why inventory was getting destroyed, why were glasses being shattered, and the staff was saying look, we're doing everything we can, it's just weird stuff happens, and bottles fall on their own, glasses shatter on their own, we don't know why. And so they put in cameras to track it, and this is what they found. So we're here in the stock room of this bar. Now, obviously, we can confirm that this guy's in the Illuminati. This is all fake. This is all lies, because checkerboarded ground. Come on, guys. This is obviously hidden in plain sight. It's all a lie. Everyone was right. 369, 911, 666. What are the other numbers the Illuminati like us to say? 33. Obviously confirmed Illuminati. I've revealed the secret. It's all a lie, guys. I'm probably going to disappear tonight. So you see that, right? This guy walks by to get some ice out of the freezer. Watch right here. He's a good distance away, nowhere near that shelf. They just fall. They just fall. The bottles just fall. This guy didn't get close to this thing. He's distant away. His feet are on the ground. He's not making any motion right now. He's just opening this door. Boom, 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 boom. So I got a theory on this one. Carl CL Castle Hotel. If you're out there and you'd like some input from a wizard, I think that you opening the ice chest might be part of the problem. Perhaps when you're opening the door, I know that when I open doors in rooms, it affects the air flow and will cause other doors to move. So maybe there's some force happening here. It's causing the bottles to move. Perhaps. What do you guys think? Don't disappear tonight. You won't get cassoulet. Oh, Alex is making cassoulet. By the way, I don't know if you guys are aware of this, but Alex Paxton, Alexandria Paxton, at OPVs is better at cooking than Gordon Ramsay. And she's making us a French dish tonight called the cassoulet with local pork. And it is the best thing you'll ever have, but everything you have from Alex is the best thing you'll ever have, unless she gives up on cooking, which she does do sometimes, where she'll go up and be like, tonight I have made leaves garnished with some chunks of tomato that I forgot to cut. And then you'll be like, but when are you making dinner? Are you going to? No, this is our dinner now. Oh, okay. And then the next day she'll come out with a 5-star Michelin, or what is it, 3-star Michelin chef meal, and I will be confused. Sup, Maji? Don't challenge Gordon Ramsay. Oh, I challenge Gordon Ramsay for you. I hereby declare a challenge to Gordon Ramsay via my woman. She believes she's better than you. I believe that she believes that she's better than you. So, direct confrontation, Gordon Ramsay. The first one looked like it could have just been because of the ice chest, but if you replay the second one, looks like it jumped. We're going to go deeper into this because there's actually another one that's a little bizarre. So these people come on in and they rush in, they're checking it out, they see that the bottles have fallen. He's like, look, no, I didn't knock over the bottles. I didn't just destroy the bottles. It wasn't my fault. So this is another piece of footage that he's got. So this is the bar area. Again, Illuminati confirmed. You can see the checkerboards. I believe the incident is going to occur right around this area by the lady at the cash register. This is a normal day at the bar. Nothing fancy going on here. Just a hotel bar doing hotel bar things. Boom! Check that out. Right here. It just explodes. The glass just explodes of its own will. Is that not bizarre? Oh. And so these people have reached out to investigators, paranormal investigators, scientists, skeptics, design people. No one can seem to solve the mystery of the Carlisle Castle Hotel. It's pretty weird, and it's just part of their culture. So they basically turned it into a marketing gimmick now, and they use it to get free promotion for their hotel. So, you know, making lemon with lemonades, I suppose. And that is the Carlisle. I can't pronounce your name. Maybe brand a little bit better then. And so that is the video for you guys there today. Now let's move on to the next segment, which is directly requested by one of the owls. Yesterday on TikTok, someone said, hey, I love your cryptid videos. I think that they're awesome. I 100% have seen an imp IRL. Can you do a video on imps? And so here we are looking into the cryptid known as imps on today's scenario, today's segment of fantastic cryptids and where to find them. We're going to be looking into the imp, also known as the Trenti, and we're going to be looking into some video footage of these guys as well, and looking at the fact sheets of what people have described them as. Now, when you tie this in with the Great Sphinx that we talked about earlier today, it does seem like different cultures may have existed. There might have been different species, so this is not out of the realm of the impossible. Perhaps there were dwarves, perhaps there were goblins, perhaps there were these other groups of people that we just don't know about anymore. If you think about an 800,000 year long history, it begins to get a little odd, right? So the cryptid file here on the Imps is that they are small, camouflaged humanoid creatures. They tend to vary in size from 1 to 3 feet tall. Your typical images of them you get is like your Dobby, for example, from Harry Potter. Gollum is another example. However, in the traditional Spanish rendition, the Trenti, they tend to be smaller and more camouflaged, more animal or more plant-like. So you see this guy over here on the right looking like a mushroom head, and the guy on the bottom having this more fur to blend in with the environment. However, they do all have the body type of being a humanoid, and the territories they've been found in are supposedly Spain, England, and Greece. They also are known for, me misspelling mischievous. My goodness, I should have used spell check before I did this. But they enjoy they're very mischievous and enjoy pranks, but are also very sneaky. They don't like to be seen, but they will come out and prank people and then run off into the woods. That's the lore behind the Imp and the Trenti. And now we're going to take a look into a actual video footage. So this one was caught on somebody's driveway camera. So they set up a security camera for their driveway, and it caught something very weird on this particular night. What do we got going on in the chat here? The first one looks like, yep, that was Maddie referencing the haunted scene. Yeah, it's pretty weird. OPV says inspiration has to strike. Sounds great. Only French cooking. That's true. Alex's gifts are very much tied to French cooking. It's very interesting. Like, you can give her a French dish, and it's this complicated just nightmare of a dish, and she'll just whip it out and crush. And then meanwhile, she'll go and like do something that is more simple and easy, and then that will be more of a struggle for her. But the secret with her French cooking is every single time she tries to do French cooking, what OPV's does is halfway through, she says, I've ruined everything. It is all terrible. I made grave mistakes. This is going to be terrible. I've ruined it. I've ruined it. I've ruined it. She gets very sad, and then we eat it, and it's the greatest thing that we've ever had. So I'm waiting for her to let me know about that tonight, but that is the trend of her cooking style. So on this particular video, we are looking at evidence of an actual imp. This was caught on a driveway camera. It looks so silly. It looks so silly. I don't want to believe it because of the funniness of it. Now, my first question on this particular footage is, okay, who's that? Right? There's a second shadow there. So someone like setting this guy up to go out? Look at that. Or is that his shadow maybe blocking it? It could be, but I think that there's someone else here. So when you consider that, all you need is a little skinny 5-year-old, you know? You get a skinny 5-year-old dressed up as Dobby, tell him to do the chicken dance and walk out. Maybe that's what's going on here. It does, this weird walk, it does seem a bit bizarre, but that's my thought on this is you're just, it doesn't, I'm not buying this particular one. What do you guys think, though? Do you think it's legit? OPV says it looks just like Dobby. That does make sense. Maddie says reverse psychology. Exactly, Maddie. Yeah, I'm not too compelled with this particular one. I do find it interesting. It looks cool, but I'm not falling for it. The next one I have here, on the other hand, this one is a bit weird. Okay, so this one made me scratch my head a bit and say maybe. And so we've got some guys in Indonesia riding their motorcycles through a forest. Let's take a look at this particular piece. as you can see here, this guy slammed on his brakes. In front of him is what appears to be a humanoid creature of some sort running off in the distance. And they're going to show us again here, so don't worry about that. But you can see him chasing it down on his bike now. Look at that. It's so freaky. So what it appears to be is this, like, maybe 3 foot tall man running through the jungle. And he is very fast, too, because the motorcycle is... He needs the motorcycle to even close the distance there. I'm not sure. Now, I actually took quite a few anthropology classes back in the... when I was a member of the Church of Satan. That's what the college is called, by the way. College is the Church of Satan. Don't go there. It is a terrible place. It is the greatest mistake you'll ever make in your life. There's no reason to go to college. It is a scam. They will charge you enormous amounts of money for something that has no intrinsic value. It is less worth... A college degree is worth less than dirt. I mean that literally. I mean that if you bought a plot of dirt, as in land, anywhere in the United States, it's going to appreciate in value more than going into debt for a college degree when you factor in the actual student interest. It is a horrible, horrible decision. It is the worst mistake I ever made in my life, and it's been the worst mistake many of my friends have ever made in their life. Don't go to college. That being said, when we were doing anthropology, we talked about a group of people called the Pygmies, and they spoke of a group of very small people, about 3 feet tall, and they would run through the forest like this and cause mischief, and that sounds to me very similar to what you would call an imp. And now it looks like we're finding some video footage of this, and there was various anthropologists who claimed that they saw that as well. Look at that, because it doesn't look like a little kid. It looks like, it kind of looks like a golem. It looks like a creature of some sort. That is really bizarre. Wow. So that is the second footage. This one seems a little bit more compelling to me. What do you guys think? Sorry I left early. I wanted to go watch a movie. No problem at all, Michael. I don't think it's a kid since its legs are so long and fast. Exactly. You're not going to get a 5-year-old that's out running a motorbike. It's really freaky. They're just chasing it down now. And according to the lore, you know, their ability to just blend in with the woodlands, that seems like that's exactly what he's doing here. It's freaky. This is a weird one. So it has such long limbs for its size. Exactly. It's like swinging them around. That's weird. And it is an odd creature. So now I'm starting to lean towards like, okay, I'm in. The third one here, this one looks weird, but it's almost like one of those ones where it's so real that I think that it's fake. Like it makes me think this is just too good to be true kind of thing. But it is definitely in the vein of trying to capture the paracosm, as it were. This thing captures it very well. So these guys are just playing some soccer here in Mexico, kicking the ball around. That. What in the world is that? Okay, so we're going to go back here in case you missed it. So check this area right here out. Watch. Right there, that thing is the object that we're trying to study here. What makes this even more odd is the person who told us about these things that are real. They call them real dwarves, real imps, real goblins. They said that the people in Mexico have these and they're real, and that like you could just buy them on the black market. Like they claim that this is like a thing that people just can get. Watch right here. That little spot. Right? It's so creepy. It looks like a little gnome just sit. Illuminomi confirmed, boys and girls. It looks like a little gnome who's just chilling there in the shadows, sits up, and waddles away. This is in two. What in the world? What do you guys think? That one is really bizarre, but it's just that. Yeah, it's so creepy. And so that is the last piece of imp footage that I have for you guys. So when we are looking into the cryptid files here, this is the cryptid known as the imp. Those are 3 videos that I was able to find regarding these, and who knows? Like, why couldn't there be? You know, especially with all this information I've been discovering in these last few streams, like, for example, Tartaria, this lost civilization of history that we just don't talk about because communists don't want us to. When we find out the Sphinx could be as old as 800,000 years old, extending the technologically developed timeline back to, you know, keep in mind, if that's true, if that's even half true, even if that's a fourth true, we're talking about advanced civilizations that are going back well before recorded history. So there's so much that could still be. I'm not one to just rule things out. Perhaps this is something that can exist. And that's kind of the important part here is we try to teach pseudoscience. So people in the scientism cult, that's people who worship science, they're part of what's called pseudoscience. They don't actually do science. They think science is the truth, and the science is not the truth. Science is a methodology that can be applied in very specific circumstances to be useful, and in most cases isn't the right tool for the job. And it can be wrong quite often. In fact, it's wrong 52% of the time. You can Google the reproducibility crisis to see that. And so scientists will immediately discredit this kind of stuff. But what I would recommend instead is say, hey, maybe. There's a lot of people saying this stuff is real. Maybe it is. If you're really compelled and interested by this kind of idea, go and explore for yourself. Study it for yourself. Maybe you'll find something. Maybe you'll find a new species. Maybe you'll find new cool stuff. Maybe you'll just have a good time. But there's no reason to think that when a scientist says something is or isn't real, that is in any way, shape, or form valid at all, because there is no reliability behind what they're saying. It's as accurate. In fact, it's less accurate than a coin flip. So that's the takeaway for today. That's our final sign off for the cryptid known as the Imps, also known as Trentes. And we're going to move on to the paranormal paracosm of the haunted chapel. This is a spooky one, boys and girls. 2 men go in to investigate a haunted chapel here, and it turns bizarre. So we're going to be watching that here, hopping around through that film. I'll catch up with the chat here as well. Let's get this thing going first. All right, my mouse has disappeared. Here we go. Let's see what we got in the chat. The screams. As a witch myself, this is very interesting to learn about. Interesting. Highly recommend not being a witch. You should go to Logos. It's way more powerful than being a witch. Why go to your human self for power when you could go to the Alpha and the Omega. It's the ultimate source of power, and incredible and unstoppable, and makes witchcraft laughable in the face of glory of Logos, the light, the truth, and the way. Check out Socrates, the trial and death of Socrates. Check out Aristotle. Check out Plato. Check out Thomas Aquinas. Check out the Bible. The Bible would be great. Those would be good sources for some Logos and learning the intricacies of the most powerful form of energy that exists in the spiritual realm, also known as the Alpha and the Omega. Let us begin with the next video, the exploration of a haunted chapel on July 29th, 2007. And hopefully my mouse comes back so that I can actually jump around. There it is. So the backstory here is they had previously been in the area trying to investigate other haunted areas. For example, a bell house that was claimed to be haunted, and they didn't really catch anything on camera, nothing too bizarre showing up here. So then they're going to this haunted chapel, which they claim is haunted. Ooh, all right. So right off the bat, they are sneaking into this place at night, and they find these prayers written on the walls. That's a little spooky. And keep in mind, this is an abandoned chapel, so it's pretty weird. So they're getting freaked out. The second they start reading the scripture, they're going into the building, they're starting to get a little spooked. And it makes sense. I'd be spooked too.
If I like hold on to you or something, I swear to God I'm not gay. I'm just scared as shit right now.
Language.
If somebody watches this and I start crying, that's what I do all the time, so it's not unlocked.
I don't know if it's unlocked or not. Holy shit.
So they found a door that's unlocked.
Oh my God. It's like freezing in here, like a cold spot or something.
So they're already experiencing some strange phenomenon, which is cold spots. This is sometimes associated with paranormal activity. However, it also could be the cause of just a draft, for example. So nothing too bizarre yet.
That piano is scary as shit.
Ooh, this is just... I'm getting weird vibes from this.
You go first.
Could you imagine just being in a church at night in the dark is just so spooky. That just does not seem like a good recipe.
I got the camera. I gotta get you in picture.
I don't know what it is, but it freaks me out. Oh, I'm getting goosebumps from just thinking about that. I just keep feeling like something's gonna appear. Again, language, dude. If you're going to go into a chapel with scriptures written on the wall at night, at least have the decency to clean up your language, dude. Like, you're in a sacred place. You don't want to mess with what's in there. Whether that be from the Almighty or from the enemy. My goodness, either way, I don't want to be on either side of that.
Oh shit, like this ladder, it's like a fucking secret.
You know what? We're going to have to go silent here for a little bit. Okay. So they found what appears to be a ladder. Okay, so the guy claims that a dead body is going to fall out of there, I think is what he said. And so he doesn't go up. Going into a chapel's attic is probably not the right play, I agree. Wait, is that edited in? Did you guys hear that? Was that my intro? Hold on. What was that? There's a piano playing. What in the world? Holy crap.
Someone's gonna fall out of there. Oh god.
I'm so scared. Shit. Oh no.
That's not me, guys. That's the video. Is that, are they editing in the music, or is that actually happening?
Should we go look at? Is that door open?
Oh my gosh. Can you imagine you're in a chapel, an abandoned chapel in the middle of the woods at night? You've just examined the place with a flashlight. You're freaking yourself out. You're thinking about going into the attic. And then the piano at the church begins to play. I'm not even freaked out of a ghost at this point. I'm freaked out at who lives in the church and why can they play the piano? And why didn't they find him earlier? Oh, okay. Did they see something?
I gotta make it out alive. I wanna see my mama.
He's still playing the piano. That's good. Okay, so it looks like there's literally a person at that piano. So there's just someone who snuck into the chapel and is playing the piano now. Holy crap, that is really, 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 really weird.
Oh, fuck, the music stopped playing. Go. Shit.
Yeah, the music stopped playing. Maybe he's chasing you. Oh. Oh man, maybe it's the same guy who collects those coins. What do you guys think? Jeez. Alright, that is the haunted chapel, my friends. My gosh. That was intense. By the way, if you want to check these guys out, that's Real Ghost Caught on Tape, plays piano in church. Forerunner AL. Give that guy a subscribe. And wow, that was certainly a spooky experience. Let's move on to our final chapter for tonight, which is practical philosophy. Tonight we're going to be talking about a quote from Seneca. These are the three things that if you don't do these, you're not going to live a life that is fulfilled. That's what Seneca says. That is the claim that is made. And we're going to be talking about that right now. The good news is, if you learn how to do this, you will have all the time you need in the world to accomplish your dreams if you are able to apply what Seneca teaches us in this philosophy here today. So we're going to be talking about that right now. The quote that we have from Seneca is, "It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste a lot of it. Life is long enough, and a sufficiently generous amount has been given to us for the highest achievements if it were all well invested." So Seneca is a Stoic philosopher, and he is making the argument, as many philosophers do, that we do have plenty of time. Life is not short. We have all the time we need and more. In fact, we have plenty of time if we can break ourselves free and put our energy into things consistently and in a concentrated manner. And so the 3 steps that you need to do to start living a more fulfilled life, to live a fulfilled life, is essentially what is called time management. And this is about deleting distractions from your life. The Stoics profess that you should eliminate virtually everything above the base necessities, highly pleasurable foods, eliminating your making your space very small and only surrounded with things pertaining to your work, turning off, in modern days, turning off internet, not having a smartphone, locking your smartphone away in a box while you're doing your work, not watching TV, all these things that we have more and more and more of today. And this is also contributing to the reason why we feel like we have less and less time, even though we don't. We have just as much free time, if not more, than our ancestors did. And it's because we have devices and technology and hobbies and habits and addictions that are distracting us. So the first step is we really need to be able to delete all of those for a certain amount of time. It doesn't mean that you never do them again. It means that you can get rid of them and for a concentrated period of time. And that is the first step to really applying this philosophy to a time management perspective. So if you need to get some work done, you cannot have anything, not even a drink, not even food, not even a video playing in the background. You need absolutely nothing going on to distract you from the one thing that you're going to be working on, which is your work. And that is the first step that Seneca teaches us here in his practical philosophy. The second step is he teaches what would be considered the consistency principle. So it's great if you go and lock yourself away into a room with nothing but the work that you have before you for once or twice. But if you don't make this a consistent habit and you don't do this every single day, or if at best 5 days a week, you have to be doing this consistently to get the payoff and the results that you want from your life. So you can't just isolate yourself for 2 days. You need to make this a habit that you do all the time, every day, for a set amount of time. So committing 3 hours to your business every day with nothing but work. Only work and only that particular task. Nothing else, no other distractions. And doing that every day, ideally daily, with no exceptions to that rule. And then the third element that he addresses is what's called concentration. And so even if you do the first two things right and you eliminate distractions and you're consistently setting aside 3 hours every day to work, you can still completely fail to accomplish your goals due to a lack of concentration. If you are putting your energy into 7 different things, you're trying to start a business, but you're trying to start a shoe company, but you're also trying to start a lawn care company, you're also trying to start a consulting company, you're also trying to be a YouTuber, you're also trying to be an influencer, and you're doing all these different things as your work, you're diluting the efforts of your distraction-free few hours and breaking it down to the point where you're only putting 15 minutes of time into 9 different things. Even if you're putting in 4 hours, you're only getting 15 minutes of real work into these actual tasks. And so what we need to do is concentrate our efforts and choose one thing and one thing only to dedicate our hours into, and we need to do it consistently and without distractions. And when we are done with that task, then we can move on to something else. When we combine those 3 things together, you enter the realm of someone who can get stuff done. You leave this machine, this matrix that's designed to break you at every one of these levels, and you enter into the realm of someone who is a builder, a creator, someone who grows, someone who makes things, someone who is able to accomplish their goals and dreams. So by simply mastering these 3 steps, you can exit the world regardless of where you're at. If you're at the low end of the socioeconomic hierarchy, if you're at the high end, regardless of your position, if you can apply these 3 principles, you are able to contend with greatness. You are able to lift yourself up and rise to great success by learning to master this 3 steps that I just taught you from Seneca. And that is today's practical philosophy. I hope that it helps you out. I hope it inspires you. Remember that this life is not short. We have plenty of time, and there is generous amounts of it given to you if you but choose to use it wisely. Set aside and commit tonight to 1 to 4 hours towards your goals. Choose the amount that you know you can tolerate. Delete distractions during that time and choose only one thing and one thing only to work on during that time. And then try that for a month and see how far you can fly. That would be my recommendation for you all tonight. And with that, we're going to close up the stream. We have the last segment here, which is the live wizard readings. If you'd like to get a live wizard reading, share the stream, like the stream, and let me know in the comments below. Alex Paxton, do we have any other readings that were requested during the show? Let me know in the comments below. And if you'd like to support the stream financially, you can go to paypal.me/askawizard. Pay whatever you think a reading is worth, and you'll get a 3-card reading instead of just 1. And you can send your letters to P.O. Box 8881, Missoula, Montana 59807, where I will read your letters live on air, and you will enjoy those being read. Let's see, no readings currently. Awesome. All right. Well, if we have any quick questions, you want to drop those in the chat, you can do that as well. And if not, we're going to go ahead and close up the show. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed, and look forward to doing another show for you tomorrow, Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Pacific Coast time. Hey, it's Friday stream tomorrow. That means that I am going to be able to move into the weekend and start doing all those works that I need to do behind the scenes, other than just dumping in a good solid 9 to 10 hours a day on just this on just this stream, and we can catch up a little bit there. So I'll see you guys again on Monday after Friday, but I'll be here tomorrow as well at 8 p.m. Pacific Coast time. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see you all later. We're going to roll out with the credits here for the Facebook pirate ship. That's facebook.com/askawizard, where I sail the seas for mysteries and memes to help us find content for this particular show. So if you're interested in that, go to facebook.com/askawizard, and we do more live readings there as well. I'll see you all then, and see you tomorrow, 8 p.m. Pacific Coast time, here on YouTube. Have a good evening, and peace.
is so jolly.